Hi, everyone. It's Al from Boston and Kyle. Say hi, Kyle.
Aloha.
Aloha again.
Uh-huh.
We're going to kick things off here. This is not financial advice. We're just having a discussion on market manipulation. It's going to be a nice long one. It's going to be a crash course on some of the stuff that we've seen. Pay close attention to what's going to happen and pay close attention to how you're going to behave. We're going to give you some instructions. If you want to choose them, you can. If not, no big deal. It's like I said, not financial advice, just opinions that we think are going to work rather than just going in things blind. Nobody wants to go in blind. Do you want to go in blind? I don't want to go in blind.
How if I can help it?
Yeah, there is that, isn't there?
Yeah.
There always is that. Okay, so let's kick off. Let's talk about what's happened the last couple of weeks. All right, crypto, equities, options, and squeeze delays. So we've seen in the last couple of weeks a bunch of stocks that came in, a bunch of SPACs, you know, trying to get people to drop their money instead of putting it in AMC and GME, rather than putting it into crypto and equities, options, and everything else. That's the play here when it comes to these things, these distractions, if you will. There's parallel plays that are going on right now, right? DWAC, Fund, Tesla, Palantir. It can be any stock. It can be anything that gets your mind away from AMC and your other position in GME. And it's going to be there. And what we saw during that last week is when there's too much volatility, they turn off the buttons, don't they? You know,
They do, and it's Robinhood now has multiple claims against it, where not only have they turned off the buttons, they've blocked people from selling, they've blocked people from being able to buy, they've prevented people from being able to withdraw their money. Multiple things that have gone into that at this point that are just straight up criminal.
you're coming in a little fuzzy, little muddled.
Oh, sorry about that. Is that any better?
Yeah, it's much better. Thank you. So we know that the Robinhood, notorious as they are, will do this during the squeeze. We'll see it again, and there's nothing anyone can do. We can expect it, right? One of the things you could do during this time is turn off your sell orders, right? If you create downward pressure by hitting sell or having even an order placed in the sell queue, that's tantamount to adding weight to the rocket. It's like taking away jet fuel and adding weight. It's just the way it is. And when you do that, it goes back to the natural supply and demand, where the stock should be, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to get too much into that because I know it's kind of a long-winded conversation, but don't get too greedy, right? Pigs go to market, hogs go to slaughter. We brought this up before. The crypto plays, the equity plays, the options are out there. They're all there to do one thing, and that's to lure you in, right? Let's talk about that for a sec. Luring people in. Deliberate glitches, right? Everyone saw this the other day. This is a screen cap off of, I think it was Weeble, or I don't know exactly who, but it's a glitch. And it says $3,000 to $4,000 strike prices. And of course, the average ape, smooth brain, sees that and is like, hot dog, let me get in on that. And he'll drop his money into an options play, and they'll absolutely rake him over the fire for that. It's bait. All these things, they're all bait. That's all it is. Always ever is going to be. It's bait. Anything to distract you away from the play is a distraction that's deliberately set. It's not coincidence.
And more importantly than that, when you're doing a ridiculous long shot strike price on a call option like that, all you're doing is putting money back in the market maker's pocket and allowing them to maintain that short position one day longer. That's something important to kind of be recognized there, is that making plays like that, where you don't really have any upward movement, it's just feeding the market maker and giving them the money to survive another day.
Let's talk about that. So I think some of you guys have seen this. I posted this a while back. It's called the rinse cycle. Okay. The rinse cycle is essentially where, and I'm going to go over this on another slide, but it's where they drop the price and then it goes back up. It drops the price, it goes back up. And it's that up and down motion that happens, that's where people drop and say, I can't handle the volatility. I'm fearful. I'm going to lose all my savings account, blah, blah, blah. And then they leave. And that's something that's going to happen a lot. I want you to be aware of it. I want you to keep your eye open for it. You're going to see it, and you're going to expect to see it. And it's going to be a combined arms effort. Okay. So in other words, all their friends are going to be in on this play, right? And I'll show you that in a little while. All their friends, JP Morgan, Goldman, you name it, who hold large volumes of AMC, they're going to sell at a certain price in order to panic you, to freak you out, and you sell, you exit, and that's the end of your squeeze. Don't let that happen to you. Do not let that happen to you, right? Because what's going to run through your mind is, oh man, I better just sell it off as soon as possible when I still can get a decent price. That's emotional manipulation, right? Or it's like, oh, I missed my opportunity and the squeeze is over. It's not over. A good squeeze, the squeeze that we're looking for, it's going to take weeks, maybe a month, maybe more. A good squeeze is going to take time. It's not an overnight thing. Okay. The mark. Sorry, go ahead.
The thing you want to keep in mind, that what helps to counteract this is, it's not faith that you're going to get to a specific place. It's the due diligence. It's the cold hard facts. It's the numbers that say, hey, this is where we're going to go. And no matter what kind of manipulation that takes place, any kind of dips or anything like that, it will reach this apex. It's going to get there. It's just a matter of time. And that's what helps to counteract the knee-jerk reactions to these drops.
Let's talk about trading halts. All right. Trading halts are a big problem. We saw that during DWAC. People were at $170. They dropped it. They halted, which freaked people out, and they walked away. So this is a graph that I grew, right? Let's pretend this is our volatility right here. It's gone up to $7,500, right? You don't walk away from the play. You actually walk away from the computer, because as you're sitting here wondering and thinking, there's going to be apes that didn't see this video. They're going to be exiting their position, right? They're going to freak out. They're going to be, the longer they wait, they're going to exit their strategy, throw out their entire strategy, and they go down here. And it's those moments, those dire moments. It feels like an eternity, because it's going to turn into minutes. It's going to be multiple trade halts, maybe several times a day, several hours a day to cool the volatility. It's going to happen. A longer a person stays in that orange zone right here and the red zone, the higher the likelihood they'll get nervous, fear will set in, panic, and sell. All right. As the person waits for movement, the trade trauma kicks in. The trade trauma is this pattern of behavior that's acquired through past losses, if you will, or past negative incidents on the stock market because of volatility or some kind of problem that you had, some kind of emotional response that you had. But it gets people to be super skittish and impulsive. So a person, a trader that generates fear and uncertainty from their past stock plays are more likely and more impulsively going to sell off during these trade halts. That's why I said here, walk away. As soon as the trade halt starts, walk away from it. It'll pick back up. It's just those heightened moments, guys. Those heightened moments of fear and anxiety is when you walk away. Have a piece of paper. If it gets too scary, look at that piece of paper. It says walk away. Just walk away. That's all you have to do. And you will live to trade another day. It will happen. It will go back up, because these trade halts, as long as nobody sells during that squeeze, that thing's still going to go up through the roof. It's still going to go high. It's still going to keep moving forward. The weak guys are the ones, the ones that are unprepared are the ones that are going to leave, right? So don't allow your slip in the orange or the red. Just as soon as this trade is halted, walk away. Leave the phone, computer there, and just walk away. You can always set up the price alerts, right, as milestones. Don't sell through brackets or whatever else. Just walk away and keep your phone close by. And whenever it hits $8,000, it's $75 here, $8,000, you'll know about it. You can come back. So that's one good thing. Here's the market maker right here, Kyle. Here, that's all you right here. Heel dragging.
So, yeah, this is a huge issue, and the SEC has been going on and on about it, and yet they're investigating it, but they still haven't chosen to take any kind of action. But ultimately, where we exist is a point, and Burry called it back in 2007, and he said that the market has become completely fraudulent, and we're right back there. We're at a point where the market maker is able to reroute the buys into bulk purchases made through dark pools, while keeping the sells above board in the light, so that what we see are drastic drops in stock price and so on, and then the bulk purchases don't show up until the end of the day when they're balanced out, usually after hours through the dark pools. And this has been addressed with Gary Gensler, and he straight up acknowledged that it happens, and that they are considering the ramifications of what it means. But what it essentially means is that no matter what, the market maker gets to pick which stocks are successful and which stocks are failures, because they can route these purchases in ways that influence the rise and fall of the stock price. So this is with the squeeze, this is kind of our one chance to stick it to the man in a way that's beyond their control. And we have to stay strong, because they're going to be manipulating this thing to hell. And you're going to see the price going down, and people are going to want to sell. And then you get through the end of the day, and suddenly the price is going to go rocketing back up, because all of those buy orders, or all of those the short fills are going to be added to the market at the end of the day through the dark pool. And then you're going to see it going back up. But the manipulation on the front side is going to be very severe.
So basically, Kyle, after hours, when this thing closes down for the shop, you'll see that price action that they suppressed go back up, right? Is what you're saying? Okay, good to go. And this is a heel dragging. They're going to pull some of the shady shit. And it could even be the DTC not filling orders when we liquidate the hedge funds. It could happen. Nobody knows. But the only thing you need to know is don't sell, just hold. That's it, because these things are going to get high, and it's going to go past 15K. It's going to go to really high numbers, but they cannot hold on forever. That's the best part. They cannot hold out forever. Eventually, they start buying again. So don't sell low. If you sell it, sorry, go ahead.
They don't have a choice.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah, they are stuck. They only have one way out of this, and it's to buy back all of these shares.
That's incredible. They have to buy back each and every share that's out there. So that's a good thing. All right, next slide. Emotional manipulation. This is it, guys. This is the one you've been waiting for. This is the meat and potatoes. There's going to be so-called apes, YouTubers, influencers. They're going to try to make you feel bad or manipulate your emotions. We know this. We know it's going to happen. Somebody's going to say, well, they covered 80%. There's nothing left. We better sell it all, or some bullshit. They're going to have a bunch of bullshit lines, but we don't know who they are. So we don't know who the shills are. We don't know who the legit guys are. But this is going to happen. You're going to see it. It might not even be popular YouTube personalities. It might be just one of the smaller ones that are just out there for a payday, So you're going to see that. Expect to see that. And be careful around the subtleties, right? Subtle words create manifestations in your head. What I mean is, if you go through the comment sections, right? Like if you go through certain YouTubers, you'll see comments from shills, right? You see that message enough times, it starts to manifest in your mind. Maybe this is the best I can do. Maybe this is all I can do, blah, blah, blah. What if scenarios, right? It's going to be there, and it's deliberately placed, strategically placed, to question your reasoning and your confidence in the play. And there's going to be millions of these things. It's an expression that I call death by a million comments. It's where it's everywhere. It's apes, it's YouTubers, it's media of all kind. They're all going to be making comments, including politicians, just to make you exit your position. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just hold. That's all you have to do. They cannot legally or in any way force you out of your position, right? It's illegal. They cannot break the law. It simply can't, they cannot do this. They cannot get you to sell. So keep that in mind. These comments are designed to make you think, right? They've been watching us for the last 10 months. They've been watching us. They know everything about us, the way we think, the way we act, what stimuli makes us behave a certain way. They have everything mapped out. They know us. They know our community. They know how to make us twitch. They know how to make us move around and behave a certain way. They know what buttons to push, right? They have incredible resources. Let me talk to you real quick about what we have, what they have, and what we're up against, so you have an understanding.
This is really scary stuff. It blows my mind the level that they operate at here.
It's incredible. It's an intelligence agency. This is what we use in the Marine Corps to find terrorists with. No shit. They have teams of mass behavioral psychologists, right? That take the data that we're all the comments and whatnot. They scan all the red forms, Facebook, whatever, and they create these massive data books. And then they take that data, they translate it into behavior patterns. They start executing on plans. They have marketing companies that do that part. They have deep learning machines that do the thinking for them. They look at the deep analytics. Ken Griffin even said in one interview, we know how to behave. We know how these people behave. He basically told us what he was doing. So they control social media. They control the internet forums, the mainstream media, Netflix, you name it. They have a reach there because they have money, right? So everything is compromised. And let me tell you something. Lately, I've been getting weird text messages. This is the second time we have to make this video because they kept hacking. The weird stuff started happening to my computer in the last couple of days and my cell phone. So I think something's happening. I can't be for sure, but earlier today, me and Kyle tried to make this very same video, and I had connectivity issues. I had all kinds of weird problems going on, and we had to reschedule. But don't be surprised if they hack into brokerage accounts, soft brokerage accounts, and sell off your position. Spoofing phone numbers, keyloggers, seeing what your passwords are. So be smart. Change your information and write it down. Don't put it on your cell phone. Don't take a photograph of the information. Just have it on a piece of paper. Harden your fortress. That means all your questions have changed, your passwords are changed, your information's changed. You have to use a landline. It's harder to actually do it on the landline than it is a cell phone. Change stuff around, whatever you need to do. Anything to add on that?
Not particularly. I think you hit most of it. I was going to comment on how Bam had the same thing. Guys messing with him, especially when he started speaking out and getting really vocal to the ape community and so on. So it's really not surprising that you're seeing somebody messing with you. But yeah, it's the best thing you can do in anything just in this digital age is take the right steps to protect yourself. I try to use two-factor authority wherever I can. But some stuff, it's just passwords, non-sequential strings work really well, that kind of stuff. But just fundamentals.
I think one of the things you could do, especially if you use if you guys have logged in your information on one of those stock counting websites, like whatever, like one Adam Aaron suggested, that data now belongs to Robinhood because they bought out that company. I forgot the name of the company.
Which, in his defense, he did turn around and say, don't associate with the website anymore, specifically because they were bought out by Robinhood. So right. I give him a lot of props for that, turning around, and admitting the mistake.
If you did register your shares there, be smart and change all your information. This might be the time to do it because I'm giving you a reminder. Okay, let's talk about data sources. Assume every authoritative data source for the AMC and GME squeezes are compromised, because they are. Believe me, they are. Historical and empirical evidence confirms this. There's going to be fake shit everywhere. The level 2 data, level 3 data, it's all going to be fake. All the short interest data will be fake, and the tape will be spoofed. Mark my words, this is going to happen. They're going to say, oh, the shorts have covered 80%, and they're doing this, and there's volume this, and this, that, and the other. Believe me, it's all bullshit. It is all
Um,
bullshit made by the market maker to get you to sell, because they're going to see that data. Somebody's going to see, oh my God, 80% of the float is covered. Well, I better sell. And he's going to put that on Twitter or Facebook or wherever, or Reddit, and people are going to sell by the masses. If you see those kinds of posts, don't fall for it. Do not fall for it, because the data that he sees or she sees is probably bullshit. There is no right or wrong data. It's all fake. Nobody knows. Go ahead, Kyle. You're going to say something about the
Yeah,
market
so
maker?
this is one of the great things that came out of the SEC investigation into January 28th. Ultimately, and the report was yeah, fairly dry and didn't have a lot of good stuff in it. But this is one of the good things that it had. It said ultimately the drastic increase in price was primarily based on hype, and that there was no short covering action that took place on January 28th. Now, this is
Boom.
particularly significant because you had about half a dozen hedge funds that all claimed that they successfully covered their short positions on January 28th. And the SEC came back and said in that report, they said, no, nobody covered. Everything is still open. And that, I think, is really significant. It shows you just how quickly these guys will reach to conceal the commitment to their positions. That they were in fact still under the gun on this, and they were just lying to the media, like every single news channel. They were all claiming that these guys had gotten out and shut everything down, and of course, still not the case. But now the SEC has come out and said, yeah, no, we have confirmed it. So you have to be willing to accept the fact that these guys, when you're talking about billions and even trillions of dollars, they are willing to lie through their teeth, because the penalties are hundreds of thousands. They're slaps on the wrist at best. And it's so easy to just absolutely lie and cheat and steal and never have to worry about it, because the consequences are so small. So they do.
We're talking.
And
Sorry.
and that's important to keep in mind, because none of it's going to be real.
One of the things you'll see here, this is the level 2 data, when they start broadcasting them, you're going to see $70,000 shares, $100,000 worth of shares being shifted. It's fake. It's all bullshit, because as soon as it hits that price, it disappears. But the trade hasn't been executed. It's done there deliberately, and you'll see a line of them. It'll be like 100,000, 2 million, 6,000, 450 shares, blah blah blah, this, that, and the other. None of which are real. It's all fake. It's all fake. You're going to see it from all different market makers, ARCA, NASDAQ, you name it, New York Stock Exchange. It's all going to be there. They're all working in conjunction to screw us over. You're going to see it. Pay no mind to it. It's fake. It's all bullshit. And now we're going to go on and talk about mind games. All right. The mental games that exist during a squeeze. Oh, what just happened? Sorry. Hey, sorry about that, guys. We had a very strange thing just happen. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a small box right in the middle of our screen, and my computer went down again. Never had problems with it, but now I don't know what happened. Something strange happened. All right, let's talk about stock fatigue, trade trauma, price anxiety. Stock fatigue, which is our next slide. The mental exhaustion caused by hypervigilant stock watching. That means is you're constantly watching the stock. You're constantly watching the stock. Every time it goes up, you get excited. Every time it goes down, you go through some depression, some withdrawals. It's an emotional roller coaster. It causes a peculiar kind of tiredness, similar to that feeling that one gets during the process of a divorce. You just want to get it over with. You just want this thing to be done and over with so you can move on with your life, right? That sort of thing. If you're experiencing that, you have stock fatigue syndrome, and it's very real. It's one of the biggest threats, in my opinion, that you guys are going to get so tired of the nonsense and the bullshit that you're just going to sell early just to get it over with, and it's like saying you're 90% done, and the last 10% is just a really hard bullshit and it's going to be over with, and you're going to never have to worry about it again. That's where we're at right now. You should be concerned about this. You should be self-aware that this thing is happening and it's like a real thing. And you should just note that to yourself, that are you doing, like when you're about to sell, because are you sure this is, ask yourself, are you sure this is what you want to do? Are you 100% committed to this price? Or do you want to see if you can, see if it goes a little bit higher? Remember these things that I'm telling you. It's going to save your life one day. And this also means, this also applies for anticipatory anxiety, which is also a real threat to apes. And we'll talk about that some more. Trade trauma. All right. This is the fight or flight response that happens when we are at like this maximum height. Like it's at 17, or let's say it's going to 20,000 and we're at 19,000, and that's like a good number for you. Let's say, why, I don't know, I'm just making up a number. And all of a sudden it's like you start seeing a little bit of volatility, and the fight or flight response in you is telling you, hey, get out of there, get out of there, get out of there right now. This is enough for us, let's go. That's where the trauma seeps in, right? Because it, in the back of your subconscious, you remember the reasons why you're doing this. It's just for your family, to escape from stress, worry, financial prosperity, financial problems, the risk, the high emotions, the competitiveness, all these things, right? They all manifest in our subconscious, and it comes out in trade trauma, that fight or flight response. And this is a real thing, and it affects us differently. It's what we have, our gut reactions, our gut instinct, our gut feeling, when they all work together, and something tells us, oh, well, we should exit right now. Don't listen to that voice. Ignore that voice. Exit that voice. Just part away from it. Walk away from the TV. I'm sorry, the computer and the phone, and go for a walk or something. You will get past this. These are just moments. This isn't an eternity. It's just a moment. But if you stay in that situation, it feels like an eternity. Let's talk about price rise anxiety. Okay, this is an OCD type thing, right? When you are even tacitly on the OCD spectrum and you're going through anxiety, right? You're trying to calm yourself, calm your nerves, but your mind wanders, goes to different places, right? You start thinking about weird things, like you're fortune telling, you're trying to predict the future, you're mind reading, you're asking yourself, what is this other ape thinking about? What is a market maker thinking about? The what if scenarios, ruminating on different outcomes and how you're going to either adapt or just be consumed by these things. Catastrophizing. This is a really crazy one. This is something you want to avoid. You're exaggerating situations by assuming the worst will happen, that you're going to sell for like $100 or something, right? You get yourself into a dark place, you work yourself up tacitly or overtly, and then you're just at this crazy manic state. Avoid those things. Find ways to avoid thinking that way. Find ways to walk away from the screen, and just realize that what this is happening is designed to make you happen by the hedge funds, and it isn't real. It's not a real thing. These obsessions, these obsessionalities that you're coming up with, they're not real. You wouldn't normally have them, but your mind is making these things up because the hedge funds have done this to you, right? And I want you to be cognizant of it, be aware of it. Kyle, you want to add anything?
Yeah, this one is a particularly easy one to fall into because of the absolute saturation of data that exists in the modern market, because of all of the tools that are now, and information that is now available to retailers. We try to take in as much as possible so that we can make educated decisions on whatever we're trying to do. But so much of that stuff, especially if it's being manipulated from the outside, especially if it's coming from shills or people that are speaking on behalf of the market maker, it's designed to upset you. It's designed to throw you off balance, and it's going to generate these kind of feelings. So you once everything starts moving, you just have to trust in the data is going to carry you to the finish line, and you can't get caught up in all of this exposure that you're receiving from all these different directions.
So these are some tactics and techniques that do work, that you can utilize, right? You can walk away from your computer screen. You can shift your focus. Just being away for a moment, even for 5 minutes, 2, 3 minutes, and it's hard to do, will better you later on during the real squeeze. You can breathe, deep breathing, be kind to yourself. If you got a boyfriend or a girlfriend, hug your partner. If you got a pet, love on your pet. Positive reinforcements that it's okay that you're feeling this and it'll be over soon. Okay. Or have a glass of water. Sit on your hands and breathe. I've learned that from the VA. It helps me with my anxiety sometimes. It actually does work. You just sit on your hands, on your bum, and you just breathe. That's all you have to do, and think of something else. Meditation. You can meditate in the mornings. There's like a million apps from yoga to whatever. Use those things. They're there for your sanity. I would highly recommend you abstain from substance. You want to be clear thinking the entire time. You don't want to be drunk. You don't want to be smoking that hippie lettuce, that the ganja, whatever. I know some of you, a lot of you guys smoke that stuff. That's cool. I get it. Maybe after hours, but not during the daytime. Not to chill out with, because you need to be level-headed in this thing, man. You got to be stone cold sober, right? And of course, exercise. The best thing here for you. Get out and get some cardio in. Get some PT in there. Tomorrow's the 8th of September, November, which is the Marine Corps birthday. Go out, run 10 miles. It's our birthday. Kyle, it's our birthday tomorrow. You know that, right? It's the Marine Corps birthday tomorrow, November 10th. Oh, actually, no, it's the 10th, right?
It's the 8th. It's the 10th is Wednesday.
Yeah. So,
but tomorrow, AMC earnings call.
Boom.
Yeah.
There you go. What you're feeling is real. Okay. It's real to some degree, and the rest is just manifestations. That stuff is not real. It's your anxiety talking. What one thing you could do is you could absorb the thought. You can take the thought in, hit accept on it, and then dismiss it. It's just like one of those Apple, when you sign up for an Apple product, they make you sign up all that nonsense. Oh, you got to read through this bullshit and this, that, and the other. It's like that. Really go through it? No. You just scan through it, hit accept, and that's it. That's the end of it. And that's the thing you should think about when you're having these moments. It's a valid concern. It's not real. Hit accept, and then dismiss it out of your mind completely. Never think about it ever again. Now let's talk about FUD. Trust no one or anything. FUD will be everywhere during the squeeze. All right. It's going to come from credible news services like CNN or Fox or MSNBC, NBC, like real news services. Yes, we know that they're fake news and it's bullshit half the time, but those mainstream services will be broadcasting this play and making comments on there. So be advised, it's going to be there, but don't trust anything that they say, right?
And so there was that one girl on MSNBC that basically, after months of denying that there was naked shorting going on, she slipped up and actually admitted that there was naked shorting going on, and then after that it became the topic of the day and so on. They're so deceptive about this stuff, and they get orders from on high. Hey, we're not going to talk about this. We're not going to use these words. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. And then down the road, they're happy to apologize and say, oh yeah, no, we were wrong, or something like that. But at the time, in the moment, that's all they care about, is that they're able to manipulate you in the moment.
Have a controlled sense of paranoia. Be fearful of everyone. They will say or do anything to make you exit your positions. That's always been their thing. Hold on one second. Excuse me.
Oh shit.
Thank you. The biggest card that they're going to play is the government. That's saying that they're going to interfere with the squeeze. Like Joe Biden's going to come in and do X, Y, and Z, or Gary Gensler is going to do X, Y, and Z, and they'll make a big broadcast out of it. Let me tell you, that's FUD. They cannot legally make you exit your position. They cannot legally make you exit your shares unless you allow them to, because you listen. It's not real. The only way this can happen is through executive order, and it's got to be signed, sealed by the president to stop a stock play of this magnitude, because it's a national security event, right? And that's a whole different game. It's not going to get to that point. So if they tell you, oh, Gensler's commenting, Powell, Yellen, Biden, they're all going to make comments and this, that, and the other. They can't do shit. They really can't. It's got to be done XYZ. It's got to be done legally. And let me tell you, if they even try to, right, the amount of apes that will go nuts, you'll see a shit show. And I don't think Biden wants that. I think he wants the tax revenue from it. I don't think Gary Gensler wants the negative press to be the bag holder and all this. I don't think it's going to happen. But don't be surprised if you do see it, though. You know, but just tune out. That's all you have to do. Just don't pay attention to them. Just focus on your goal, which is that number, which is for me is 1 million or something even close to that. You know, that's okay. You can get there as long as you hold, as long as you can navigate through the bullshit, all the FUD they're going to feed you, all the fake stuff that they're going to say it's happening. It's all one big, clever, deceptive facade to make you sell, right? We know it. And it's all lies. Of course, misleading headlines. We know that's coming. Biden and Gensler cancel AMC squeeze. Just lies. They're going to come up with all kinds of shit. You know, I said this the other day. If Hulk Hogan comes out and says, on YouTube or Twitter, "Hey brother, exit your AMC positions," it's bullshit. Everyone's going to try to get you to sell the shares. Don't do it though. It's worth much more than you think. You don't realize it. We did the actual hard graft of going through from 2015 to 2020, all the naked shorts, all the fakes, the synthetics. People think, oh, it's only a couple billion shares, blah blah blah. There's over 20 billion shares that have to be recovered. 20 billion. Do you think that we didn't look? Believe me, we looked. We're Marines. We're thorough. I mean, Kyle, let me ask you something. If the one thing the Marine Corps has taught us is attention to detail, am I wrong or what? Right?
Oh, I would put a second thing up there. One of the biggest things I learned from the Marines was do the work.
Yes.
Don't cut corners. Never cut corners.
If you do the work, instead, like as we said, I said actually rather, a lot of these YouTubers, a lot of the people doing DD only start in January when the first gamma squeeze happened. So they only get a small picture of what's been happening. Well, the rest of the iceberg goes back to 2015. There's a lot of this stuff. They've been doing this for ages. It's a cash cow. They've been doing the same play using the same algorithms that Astro Sam had identified. It's all there. And it's in one of the other videos, the first video I think we produced. Okay, next order of business, the fake dips, buying back in on margin, right? The risk versus reward. There's a very high probability that your broker will probably approve you for margin just so they can screw you over and take all your shares. Think about what I'm saying, right? So let's say you sold at 350, okay? And you have T1. They give you the courtesy and allow you to purchase shares, right? And you bought back in at right here, 272. But the shares value drops even further down to like down here, which is like $100. The shareholder, the market maker, or the brokerage, that's it. If you don't have that money right then and there to pay them, that maintenance account, they take all your shares. That's it. Cal, am I wrong?
Nope, that is correct. That's one of those big slip ups for bracketing that'll get people, because they don't understand that it's taking T+2 to settle those trades, and you're not going to have the money immediately in your account. And they'll do courtesy margin on it. If you're trying to jump back in, if you're trying to be a high speed trader here, and they'll let you purchase those shares. But if it keeps dropping, they take them.
That's it. That's the end of your squeeze. Imagine
Yep.
that. Imagine waiting all this time and having your broker like Fidelity or whoever just take all your shares and say, hey, thanks for coming out. Bye. And that's it. That's the end of it. All that time. Don't get greedy. Remember what we said earlier on. Pigs go to market. Hogs get slaughtered. That's it. They just get slaughtered. And let's talk about the market makers, or the markets itself, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange. There's a high probability that at a certain level, they're going to take off the buttons to buy and sell. Oh, to buy at least. I don't know when that's going to be, but they're going to do it. I think we can all safely assume that it's going to happen.
It depends
And
on how quickly things start to get out of control.
yeah,
But they'll shut down, like they'll just stop the market for the day. They understand that this is so severe in the the level at to which it can become absolute chaos, that they're going to do whatever they can to try and prevent that from happening. So yeah, you're gonna see them shut it down. You're gonna see, 1, 2, 3 circuit breakers, and then suddenly you get the market makers are calling saying we're not trading AMC or GME anymore. And it's a repeat of January 28th, where they just say, you know what, dear, you can't buy or sell this, and they're making calls to every single trading platform saying it's not a thing anymore.
so one of the things that I want to talk about is the institutions themselves. They're customers, but they're also friends. They know each other's family members. Their wives know each other. Their kids go to school together, all in New York, right? And wherever else. There's going to be coordinated efforts with institutional buyers. Hey, we're going to let you get away with this much, and that's it. And then we're going to sell. And you're going to be forced to liquidate and sell your position, right? Why? Why do they do that? Because they're all in bed together. And it's it's incestuous. They are all chums. They're all friends. They know each other. And if they say, "Hey, I want you to sell all your shares at this price, so we can drop them down to here," they will do that for them. You know, they will absolutely do that for them. And look, because look who's shareholders. These people aren't your friends. Look at Jim Simons of Rentec, Greenblatt, all these people. They all owners of AMC. They all own it, right? So what does that tell us? The institutions are also that are involved are probably in cahoots with you know who, with this guy right here, this fuckhead, Mr. Griffin, and he's watching us, and he's trying to get low dollar, bottom dollar. He's gonna do everything that's possible, right? So how do we minimize? Because we're gonna have people that sell early. We are actually gonna see that. We're gonna. I mean, it's safe to say, right? I mean, am I wrong? We're gonna see people leave, Kyle,
Yeah.
soon. So how do we stop this, or at least curb it? How do we marginalize this? It's easy. We evangelize the poor and the disenfranchised. Tell your friends and family there's still time to make purchases of AMC stock and create another gamma squeeze, right? If you're watching this tonight or tomorrow, call your friends, tell them just drop 1,000, drop a couple $100, whatever. Have them buy the shares of AMC. AMC needs more investors. It's a war of attrition, right? It's a war of attrition. We need X amount of bodies to win this war, right? If Ken Griffin is Hitler, we need more people. We need to institute a draft. We need to bring the people there. We need to get more investors, friends, family, relatives, associates. Call everybody you know. Get them to purchase this stock. Explain the situation with the squeeze. Download the app. Fund the brokerage account. Ensure they make the purchase. Then you later on take credit for bringing them prosperity, them wealth, and they will be your friends and your relatives, and they will love you for that. That's in a sense, that's altruistic. It's kind of selfish. It's more altruistic, if anything, because you're giving people money. You're telling them your secret and why it's so important, right?
And it doesn't take, this is something where the strength that retail has over the institution is that one person buying one share, and you get 100,000 people, 1,000,000 people to do it. That's 1,000,000 shares, where everybody is contributing from a grassroots perspective. And when you're looking at the single share price of potentially 800,000, $1,000,000, this is life-changing money, even for that person who can only afford one $40 share right now. That's something that can change somebody's life forever. And if they can buy more, that's more to continue to change their lives and change their families' lives. This is the last opportunity for this is the last opportunity for generational wealth, that after this, because once this one goes, they're gonna pull up the ladder, that they're going to close all the loopholes. It's all going to be done.
So this is why they create FUD to dissuade people from investing. They're always putting up that shit that says, here's 10 stocks you should buy instead of AMC, that sort of thing. Counter that. Counter that with your friends and family. Get people to buy the stock. Evangelize, right? Especially your poor friends or even your rich friends. Who knows? If they have liquidity and they have money to spend, have them buy it. Let them know. Educate them. You've been here long enough that you should know what to do. All right, let's wrap this up. The Grand Symphony, right? There's the conductor right there, Mr. Griffin. He is orchestrating the greatest fraud ever to be placed in investment history in America and possibly the world. He is partnering with all the banks, the financial institutions of America and overseas to fuck us out of money that's due us, and we will collect on it. All we have to do is buy and hold, tell others about AMC. Don't sell, don't bracket, just hold. That's all you have to do, right? That's all you have to do, because he's conducting this massive symphony with the marketing people, the news makers, the websites. He's doing all these things because the culmination is upon us. And all you have to do, just like you did during the last 10 months, is nothing. It costs us nothing to hold. Just buy and hold. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Follow one course until success. That's the focus part, right? Being singularly focused on your goal, which is $1 million or above. At least that's mine. And I've got a pretty well reasoned thesis that to argue that it can get to $1 million if we hold. That's just my thing, though. Maybe yours is different. I hope not. It is what it is. And finally, we are at war. All right. You want to start off, Kyle, and say what you got to say?
I mean, this is a really strong like this means a lot to me because having kind of fought my way up through a sizable amount of poverty and had some pretty tough runs at various points in my life, I look at some of these guys, these institutional investors who have more money than God, and they people that get caught up in politics and different things, they don't understand. It's never been about politics. It's always been about this money. And this is the first opportunity we have ever had as people, the average man, to come and take that money, and they are not going to give it up without a fight. So we are absolutely at war. And that's important. And that's the mentality that you have to have going into this. And all we have to do, they may have, teams of psychologists and analytics people and so on at their disposal. But we have this one powerful weapon, and that is that we just don't sell. And as long as we don't sell, we win. It's that simple. And then we get all these things. We create money for all of the people in our lives that need it, and all of the good causes. There's these guys, they make ridiculous amount of money, and they only give up they donate the absolute minimum to charity, whatever gets them their tax break on their taxes, and never any more than that, because that would just be a waste. All of these good causes that just go, they're completely forgotten by the wayside because that's not what they want to spend their money on. They'd rather have a fourth giant yacht or an eighth private jet, Kenneth Copeland style. It's ridiculous, the level of capital that these guys are operating at, and this is our one time to get our hands on it. And that's something that I think everybody needs to hold in their heart as they go into this.
So, we can make up every reason to, not hold. We can make up any reason, every reason to leave because of fear or one thing, whatever. But you have this once in a lifetime opportunity, and I do mean lifetime, to create generational wealth for your family. You can take care of your family, generations of your kids, your relatives, for like the J&J family, Johnson and Johnson, right? Their families have been around since the 1900s. It's like the fifth, sixth generation. They're still fucking rich. I want you to have that. The only way any of us can obtain that is if we hold. We solidarily hold. We don't sell at 15,000. We hold. I talked about the floor being 85 to 100K, and then the ceiling being $1 million, and we can even go past $1 million. It's all there. I did the research. It's all there. It's doable. And anyone that tells you otherwise just doesn't have any financial literacy. They don't understand how it works. They listen to somebody on the internet or whatever, they read something somewhere, and that's it. A lot of times they don't really understand what's happening. So I hope you guys keep that in mind. I hope you do hold, and I hope you remember the stuff that we taught you here tonight, because it will at one point save your life. It absolutely will.
Save your future.
Save your future and your kids. So I hope you got something out of it. Al from Boston checking out. Kyle, you want the last word?
It's wasted on me. I'll give it another aloha.
All right, aloha it is. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye.